Soviets and the Soviets of the Red Army, how y'all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rangru, hello.
And folks, we're taking some more SD League play, taking a look at, I believe, it's Division 1, is that right, sir?
Yep.
Division 1 over here on Shchedrin. Rang, who are we seeing and what are they bringing to the fray?
On left hand side in blue, we have Karma playing 20th Panzer Vanguard income. On the right hand side in red, we have Gonzo playing the 7th Mechanized Corps with also a Vanguard income.
Strokey City, here we come. Yep. Terrified of this because, Karma, pretty much like we kind of expected seeing him whenever he plays at 20th Panzer, is an airsats opening. So don't expect this to look pretty early on for the 20th Panzer.
Yeah, I mean, airsats trooping can only really do so much, but it's really going to come down to fire support in the city here. He's got, Panzer Grenadiers with half-track, Panzer Freeze. Gonzo has managed to get into the city pretty early with a PTRS rush, and he actually be able to get a snipe or two, at least.
Certainly seems that way already. The SS Trooping, of course, can't aggress at all because why would you want to? Yeah. Looking further to the south, he's got a couple. He's Sherman Vaughan down to the south. He's like, okay, an early 222 call, and that's probably the best thing he's gonna. No, 222. I'm sorry, 220. The off map. Probably the best call he can make under the circumstances. Pound the Russian positions and attempt to move in from there.
Yeah, that's really. I think it's bringing it to the center. Actually, never mind. It's an interesting call, but actually a good run because Gonzo is pushing pretty hard onto the hill here. We have a bunch of Strelkeys and Tank Keys using his mechanized troops to great effect to mechanize their way onto the hill. And at close quarters, they're gonna be pretty nasty.
Yeah, I am surprised to actually see that. That was not entirely expected. I imagine not entirely expected either. We see a PaK-40 and an Afkalator and a MG42 really being the only defenders to the northern side of this hill.
Yeah, really not much here from Karma's perspective. I mean, that PaK-40 is... If he gets found out, he's pretty much mincemeat. T-34's coming in at close quarters. This is exactly the type of terrain which Gonzo wants to be fighting in. Closer range, uses infantry, use a T-34 spam. I wonder how he's going to fare against a bunch of 220mm shells pounding this position.
Well, the unfortunate thing is right now he's got to desperately get in the fray because otherwise Gonzo's troops are going to aggress and be outside of this firepower before it gets there. Yeah. So this is true, but here we go. I mean, we see it right now. They move 150 meters forward, and now that's almost an entirely wasted barrage.
Yeah, and the Strelkeys are moving in pretty hard and fast. Means we've got some Panzer Grenadiers and half-tracks here, which can stem the tide a little bit, but that's just a lot of automatic and semi-automatic firepower from the Soviet perspective. Time on target has reached 0, and the bombs are off for the artillery shells.
And well, I am surprised that the Soviets were even as innocently demure, let's say shy, moving forward as they are. Because this really shouldn't have been too much of a delayed play. They should have been even more aggressive than that. I'm surprised he even just fell back from that.
Yeah, I think the Panzer Grenadiers just stopped him just enough. Because they're still pretty good infantry at longer range, as 3 MG42s can really pin down guys. Yeah, and we've got another barrage coming in just to really finish off anyone who still survived after the first run. And that's very much needed for Karma because you really can just not afford to lose your hill on this map, because once you lose it, it's a pain in the ass to get back. As the supply lines through it, terrible, high ground, all of that stuff.
Very, very true. Now, bizarrely enough, you look to the northern hillside is just completely German.
Yeah.
Which I did not expect.
One tank just needs to get in Strelkey out, but not going to prove too much of an issue. The main thing is Karma has managed to get tanks up here. Yeah, the Panzer III and the Panzer IV F1 going to be pounding that 37mm. Here we do have an Su-76s. The scariest of tank destroyers, of course, providing fire support.
Certainly the case. I'm mildly amused. Mildly. Not too much so.
Just a little bit.
But mildly amused that the Zis are also supporting fire on any kind of attempted support over here. It ain't gonna be much.
But they're doing decent. And the hill position is still doing pretty well for Gonzo. He's still on the hill, which is more than nothing. And the T-34s are still alive as well, which can provide good fire support. He probably could use some more infantry reinforcements and another T-34 too to take that back. But strokey SVTs are pushing in. But yeah, against the armed forces, not going to be able to do too much. Panzer IV F1s are very scary as an infantryman.
Yes, they are. And actually there's martyrs in here as well, too. So not to be outdone, getting some other kind of rinky-dink troops going on. I mean, he's going to be pretty decent for right now.
Yeah, if Karma can play the longer range game with his tanks, because he does have a good amount of anti-tank units to take advantage of, it's really going to be his best bet on this map. Like northern side here, some Martyrs and Pack 40s that shoot down T-34s, so pretty much win those engagements. I do like how Gonzo up north is bringing up his T-34s around to flank here. He's going to just barrel into the hill. There's not really much anti-tank here apart from the Panzer III, so the T-34 should have a pretty fun time.
For now, anyway. We got, what, 3 more 70s? No, 42 or 45 mils being brought in, okay. That middle hillside continues to be rather devastating. You know what we missed down south? We missed the commies coming in.
Yeah, the Strokey's completely overrun in position. SS Trooping is outgunned and outclassed, and Gonzo, of course, doing a good job using that leader unit to buff up those Strokeys. Yeah, it's just... That's a
mess.
Pretty good attack here from Gonzo here. I mean, 20th Panzer has never really been the best town fighting division, of course. Once he gets into B phase, he does have some pioneers, I believe, available to him, which he's definitely going to need, or some more off-map artillery. Frankly, off-map artillery, maybe in hindsight, could have been better used down south.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he did need it up north as well to really hold on to the hill. It's kind of a tough decision now I think about it.
Meanwhile, the 45 mils are deployed to the north, and they are getting kills. And
yep.
Geez, so are the T-34-76s. The P-3L is down. Yeah, if I am those German positions, I'm terrified.
Yeah. We do have the boy to Stalin on the field, and that's going to be a real nasty nut to crack here.
That is also true. So,
yeah.
Gonna start engaging those T-34-76s pretty quickly, I think. Shooter knocked out.
Of course, the first shot.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Come back down to the south in the meantime, though. We have more of those freaking 45 mils. Dude, those things are like cockroaches. Like,
just everywhere,
yeah.
They're really good. Really goddamn good. They're easy to bring onto the field because they come cheap, so they're fast. In this sort of matchup, they're great. As all of 20 Panzer's armor is pretty light, especially when just dealing with Martyrs and whatnot. So they can just blow up Panzers willy-nilly.
Certainly true. Actually, I'm mildly amused also by the F5000 IG-18 and 76-2 on the Russian side. Playing that, that old fort game you played when you were a kid.
Oh, the artillery game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And they take each other out at the same time, too, which I think is the funniest ending to any of those.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, Karma has managed to pretty much secure the central hill position. Mostly. He still has the flag, which is the important part here. So that definitely relieves a bit of pressure. They'll, up north and down south, not looking good for him. Gonzo is just pushing hard all over the flank. And those C-34s are a pain. I think it's really going to come down to the B phase when you start seeing some Panzer IVs onto the field to try and even out the arm.
This is entirely possible.
Yeah.
Ooh, MV-109 going up against the ace himself, and not for nothing, the P-40 really, I think in my mind, should have the delicious engine firepower on this. Even with the 20 mils. He could have taken him. He could have taken him, but he's not going to. He's just going to get out.
Yeah.
What's Stalin in the meantime? Transmission destroyed. Will he get his pound of flesh, though? He hasn't. I don't think he's killed anything.
I don't know. Dude, it takes forever to reload.
Oh yeah, well I mean,
Yeah.
you try moving through that entire tank setup there. Amusingly enough, we have a PE-2, I think, trying to bomb him. We have a Ju-87s coming in trying to bomb the T-34-76s. And there's going to be just enough spread over here. There's going to be, at best, 1 kill.
And he can... Oh, there we go. And the Boita Stalin does kill the T-34 the other run, so it's going to relieve a bit of pressure here from Karma. But the bombs do their work to stun him up. Okay, Ju-87, right on your evacing.
Yeah, I don't... This is a Winchester moment. Like, I'm sorry,
yeah.
Ju-87s don't belong anywhere near the front line otherwise.
Yeah, Karma's just making a silly micro mistake here, and he's gonna pay for it.
Oh, no. Oh, was this a
Oh.
tricksy play?
I don't want to think. I don't think so. I don't think it was intentional, but it's
Yes.
gonna work in Karma's favor.
And he trades 1 for 1, but you know what? I will happily trade out for an ace. That's fine with me.
No gold faster units for you.
And when we were turned away, we actually are seeing, let's call them the lungs. The lungs have fallen back into red hands. It's just wow, just another wave of Strelkies being brought on in instead.
Yeah.
Lucky over here for Karma, you can't capture your opponent's material, because otherwise there'd be an F1 up there who just suddenly is kind of trooping all around in Soviet colors.
That would be. I wouldn't want that as a mechanic, but it'd be pretty funny to see stuff like that happen, especially, you know, in the classic 10v10 situation of being able to capture an enemy King Tiger.
Oh yeah, that'd be hysterical, so long it wasn't happening
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's actually, the town fight's looking a bit better here for Karma. He's got some Panzer Grenadiers and Panzer Freeze here, pushing back a little bit. But, now, of course, the situation in general for him is pretty FUBAR still. He's still losing by 2+ take. Here he's starting to bring some more heaviest, well, not heaviest stuff, but Panzer IV and Armada 1 up north here. The problem, however, is the positions that he needs to capture are all very infantry focused. And Gonzo is very good with his infantry of his division. And that's going to be, he needs artillery, he needs bomb, he needs firepower, high explosives from any sort of angle to really try and take his position.
Well, I will tell you, he does have Verframens. He's got 2 of them.
Oh yeah.
Just unfortunately, they're just more expensive than an entire tick of reinforcement. So if he uses them, he's got to protect them.
Yeah, and he's got to make them count. You
Yes.
gotta make the perfect barrage and then push immediately afterwards.
And that's really the biggest trick, isn't it? We've seen a lot of players who are really, really solid people overall, but that timing is just so hard to get right.
It is. Honestly, I don't really blame people for missing out the timing for when you do a rocket artillery barrage or off-map artillery barrages. Sometimes you don't know, do I push now? Are they all pinned down? Maybe some aren't. But it is pretty much an art in this game of being able to know, okay, the enemy's pinned, now would be a good time to do a crazy half-track rush and capture like 5 guys.
Well, I will say I'm actually very impressed with the Ju-87 push that just happened just now. Yeah, he's probably still going to go down here, but it was very much one of those moments of, like, Star Wars mythos. Stay on target, they're too close. He's kind of like, okay, I gotta press to that target. I gotta take out that T-34.
Karma, what are you doing?
Well, he's sacrificing so we can get another one to the north. He's sacking this plane.
No survivors.
He's pushing for an escape now. Yeah, he's gonna pull.
Yeah.
But alright. You know, to the north, T-34s have been thinned out quite considerably. Boyda Stalin doing rather well and just keeping those Razvedkas at arm's length as well. You ever see any kind of support vehicles moving in? Nope, no supports.
He's pretty much just an anti-tank gunning out point. He's almost out of high explosive. Oh, it actually has more high explosive shells than AP shells. I thought it's usually the other way around for IS-2s, but maybe it's different for a German run.
Wait. Oh, yeah,
It's
okay.
different for a German run.
I was confused by that. I thought you meant, like, he has more than that right now. And I was thinking
Yeah.
to myself, I'm not sure
No.
which tank you're looking at. But you are correct. At best, right now, he's a pillbox.
Yeah. But it's a pretty good pillbox. I mean, if you have your transmission destroyed anywhere, that's a good spot, because he has long-range advantage over pretty much that entire hill sector, yeah. So, you know, T-34 pops up, T-34 goes down. Simple as.
True, but there still could be a nice little slight adjustment. This gun could troop forward just a smidge. And, I mean, assuming he doesn't die just now. But he could come forward just a smidge, and that would have been more than enough to get that necessary kill, though, too. Yeah. So.
Though Karma has managed to pull it back to a 13-11, capturing a northern hill, and actually a little bit of aggression onto the central position here. Some Ersat troop, which is a bit sneaky. He has lost his, you know, one of his central hills, and down south in the town.
He's clawing back.
Not too bad. Yeah, the Panzer Grenadiers aren't too bad in town fights now I really think about it. Yes, they don't have great CQCs, but I find that a lot of town fights really comes down to long-range machine gun play, really. And when you have 2 MG42s, you definitely have that advantage, so not when you're outgunned by like 4 Strokey Scorch and after Machikis coming in.
Forgive me, I'm watching the duel between the PaK-40 and the ISU. And not for nothing, but the PaK-40 is just going to get 5 shots off to the 2 of the ISU and probably still won't kill it.
Yeah. But the ISU, yeah, the HE firepower is not doing all that great on his end. Still 152, that's for sure. But the P-40 coming in, he really does not want a PaK-40 shooting anymore, which I don't blame him. I don't like it when PaK-40 shoot at me. It's really annoying.
Well, you're just not a team player.
I know. Same with the PaK-40, so... The Northern Purse is...
Oh my gosh, wait a second. There's
well.
a Flak 43 is going to keep his P-40 away, I think, just barely. Oh my gosh. This is a moment of just... Oh, I was going to say it was a moment of fate.
I almost crossed into the after Machiki. My god. Just a little bit south, buddy, and you could have gone down as a hero, but nah, you just crashed into someone's back garden.
Oh no, he went south. He went 6 feet under, but he went south.
Yeah. Yeah, up north it was going really well here for Carmel Khan.
Oh, absolutely. There's a T-34 or 2 that's keeping in the way, but outside of that, yeah, he's going to control this eastern slope, and that is quite important on this map.
Yeah, he's managed to flank around onto the enemy hill position here with some Ersatz trooping, because there's nobody there to defend it. And now the Strokeys on the opposite hill are starting to get a little bit surrounded. They're still connected by front line, of course, but I don't think they're going to get any meaningful reinforcements anytime soon.
You say that, it's a T-34 is going to come up right between the, let's call it the furrow between the lungs. Some interesting airstrikes being conducted here. Can't say I completely agree with all of them, but unique nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't know what that Strokey did to Roland Chuck's hatred from the skies, but I think it's just his existence, to be honest.
I would not be surprised by that. I'm going to focus a little bit more on down here to the south, because, like you said, it is weird to see Pioneers, even the SVT Pioneers, successfully able to push back against Strokeys. Like, Strokeys are like those knife-fighting jerkwads who are just kind of all over the place.
Pioneer SVTs are better. They got their semi-autos.
Yeah, I know, the love of
Strokeys
semi-autos.
are just good in, like, numbers. I mean, the Aftermachiki is pretty good in close range, but at the same time, I don't know, the Pioneer SVTs are very good, to be fair. Like, I think I see better in the German regular Pioneers, just because of semi-autos.
Yeah, oh, that is true. But I guess for me, I'm always looking past that alpha damage component, because you're right, you get the HE grenade out, and that's great. But if you don't get the grenade out, or it's, you know, it's a really decently long reload time, so I'll check what that is again, always. Yeah, the rate of fire, 2 per minute, you get 30 seconds on that? Like, come on. Most firefights are over by then.
But you have the SVTs, which gives you a lot of firepower still. Especially when you're fighting against closer guys with both actions.
Yeah, I suppose so long as you're staying outside of the submachine gun range. That's good shape, too.
With the ISU, I do like his position just looking down that hill. It can't be going out there with a Panzer IV Of course, the Panzer IV does not have the better of engagement for obvious reasons here. And yeah, the Towns is pretty, like, even Stevened, all things considering. The Pioneers pushing a little bit, but it is a little bit outgunned from the tanks and just too much infantry.
While that happened, the Lungs have more kind of come back into Soviet control. The front line has shifted quite considerably. Do we have anything? Just more Pioneers being brought in. Okay. But the eastern slopes are slowly being taken.
Yeah. And Boita Stalin finally got repaired. That was like 10 minutes or so he's been immobile, so...
Yeah, but you know, it's like one of those things, like you really need to be wounded before you feel like you understand what it is to truly be healthy. It's one of those things.
Yeah, you can appreciate life more now. And you'll probably appreciate it more when those ISUs start shooting at him.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, that I know that's what makes me feel alive, is I want an ISU to be shooting at me from 2 kilometers away so I can show you how much of a man I am, I suppose.
Just a standard exercise routine for Colonel Ulrich.
Oh,
Comes
yeah.
down to the tracks and
Oh, yeah.
has Soviet firepower pelt him as he tries to run laps.
Well, I won't lie. I just learned about something called the Shomido Mutiny, where that actually happened to some of the troops. It was like, oh, yes, we're going to toughen you up for an assassination attempt against North Korea by firing machine guns at you. The first day, they killed 2 of the recruits.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I wonder how.
They didn't learn how to duck quick enough.
Oh.
Extremely messed up narrative. It's something you really want to listen to at some point. But, I mean, when in the meantime, go after the P-40, yeah, dude, you were smoking so hard, I thought you had emphysema. As you might suspect, ME-109 goes down in a blaze of glory. Not entirely sure why the Opel Blitz sees fit to chase towards Boita Stalin. But hey, to each their own, I suppose.
Yeah. And then the northern side is starting to get slowly pushed back here. As Karma, I mean, he does have the Boita Stalin still, but LISU is a pretty good counter. And Gonzo is, you know, managing to retake a lung position, which is all important here. Using the T-34s out to try and flank a bit, but I don't know how it's going to go. I mean, we've got another ISU going through, like, the southern end of the lung, so maybe he can... I mean, I think it's really going to come down to killing the Boita Stalin, because that is the heavy armoured firepower.
True. And even the PaK-40 is not going to be able to do a whole lot against the ISU. I mean, on paper, sure, but...
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to kill something that can't move, you know, can't run away quite as quickly.
Yeah.
And we are seeing the ISU push. I mean, the PaK-43, okay, this demon gets a kill.
Oh yeah, he has those things. Those things are really good. And 20th Panzer has good anti-tank. So, yeah. This should actually go really well for Karma. Unless he gets bombed.
Which he will.
Yeah. That doesn't usually go well when you get bombed.
Probably not.
So you're not in an ideal situation to be in.
Whenever I see a single box coming in, I keep thinking to myself, is it a ramen? I feel like that dog that hears the doorbell go off and I'm like, food? But I really do feel like the Rough Ramen would be a really great addition to help stabilize the lines against these waves of Soviet infantry.
Yeah, just you can completely stress out Strelkys and then use the half track to run in and capture him easy peasy style.
Exactly.
Karma is starting to make some pretty good progress in the central hill position. I mean, I think the half tracks has given just enough firepower to beat off the Strelkys for now.
He might, but he's not going to have a whole lot down in the south.
Did the Boita Stalin go down?
Yes he did.
He went kaput.
He certainly did. I think it was ISU 122, if I had to guess. But forgive me, I'm looking down at the south as the German positions are going to vanish. PDQ. It's a 203 off-map being called on in, and I imagine when the first shells drop, we're going to see a push over here from the Strelkys. No, Automachiki is leading the way, but, you know, whatever. What have you. Insert Soviet infantry here. Almost said Roman infantry here.
Legionnaires!
Exactly. Strelkys, another 6 of them being called into the north, 7 in the north? Jeez.
Yeah.
You never appreciate, again, how much infantry some of these divisions have until you see them all being brought on in one after the other.
Yeah, really. I mean, really, a lot of the divisions can be played like this. As with C phase at 27 card of insert infantry here, I mean, all divisions usually have something along those lines. Allows you to do this good late game spam of, hey, I'm just gonna buy so many of my basic rifle squads, and well, good luck killing over 100 guys. No, seriously, good luck. I mean, same time, Karma does have like C phase Panzer Grenadier card, which would definitely help him stay in the game because he does not have a lot of infantry, all things considering. But this northern push right now going really well for Gonzo. He's got firepower, he's meant to push Karma back, and I think the Strokey spam is just going to secure this position.
He has, but all of his ISUs have died.
He has one left. Oh, never mind. I think I just died right in
Yep.
Yeah. So he has no ISUs left, Khan. Which is not. I mean, he can still do fine. T-34 is a closer range, but if he gets into another position where he has to fight over long range on the hill, not gonna work. Especially now with Pack 43s on the field. But when you can just rush up a Strokey squad to deal with Pack 43, if it doesn't get shot, that's usually ideal.
Actually, the amusing thing here is that the Pack 43 almost got shot, except for the Martyr, who almost threw himself in front of it by firing from 2K away.
Coming in clutch.
Yeah, exactly. Still never a Froman. That I really feel that's a big mistake. I think it's a big mistake. I feel like that's almost like a absolute must against heavy infantry divisions.
Yeah.
You're not going to win the infantry fight otherwise.
No, I definitely agree, especially down south in this town position. A good rough Roman strike and then, you know, pushing through with infantry would definitely help out. But right now, Gonzo is moving about a little bit of his infantry. The other Cheeky's just getting completely shreked, yeah. I think it's just going to come down to more artillery. So we've got 2 field guns being brought in to try and give some... Oh, 3 field guns actually down south.
Yeah.
And 2 anymore.
So back to 2.
Back to 2. It's so hard to counter in Steel Division. They really just want to kill out Flak 88, which I don't blame him. I don't like seeing Flak 88 in my front lawn.
Yeah, but if the HOA says it's okay, like it's kind of hard to turn around and be like, get it off my lawn. So yeah. I mean,
it can probably also ward off the HOA.
True.
Yeah.
True. But they can't ward off 76-2 HE shells for very long. IG-18s to the north. Oh, the Machikis and the 43, 76 is okay. Shockingly enough, Hearth, it might be the longest lived, I think, ace we've had in a while. Wouldn't suspect him to be hanging around for too much longer, but, you know, he's still here.
Still alive for now. All it takes is one anti-tank grenade to make him not so alive.
True. But there still are enough pioneers and P-Grens and sniper teams and, you know, random Joes who can kind of dive in the way of such reckless hatred.
Yeah. And Gonzo once again pushing onto the enemy lung position. I mean, good use of air power really from Gonzo. Has been bombing absolute to hell and back Karma's positions here. And he's gonna pretty much take that hill. I mean, there's 1 Panzer Grenadier reinforcement being brought in, but that's not gonna be enough. 3 no-hands. And he's got Northern Hill, Hook, Line, and Sinker with all the Strokeys. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. And down south, Gonzo is trying to push a bit with his infantry, but it's really coming down to good machine gun plays. Stressing out anyone who dares push.
I think you are calling the future of Hearth pretty easily here, though, too. We're going to see. But it looks like Strokey's aggressing in, probably to take out these P-Grunts and to go onto that ace. Would not be surprised.
Yeah. I really think it's going to come down to a lot of Strokeys down south to try and break through here. And also the aftermath Cheekies. They're making some pretty good progress, as we're seeing. And even the KV-1, I think he's out of actual off-map. But the KV-1 off-map also acts as a proper KV-1. He still retains the main gun.
And clearly he knows how to do it. Takes out Hearth, and that is a vital kill, honestly, down to the south. I mean, there's not a whole lot of, you know, MBT support otherwise. In fact, there's 0 MBT support.
Yeah, but it's really just down to infantry. None of these have anti-tanks, so good luck dealing with the KVs. gonna come down to the Flank 43 just trying to do some suppressive hits.
True, which is probably not going to do a whole lot as 3 more squads get brought on in too. These Strokies in range? No, they're not. But alright. P4s in the meantime just continue to kind of light things up. Up to the north, I kind of want to see this happen. Karma trying to aggress onto that hilltop. You're saying he was holding a hook, line, and sinker, but it looks like we just need to have different bait. Because the wild PE3 is coming in. We got 2 ME109s. That PE3 is not making it out. The Peshka's going to die. One way or the other. And just to see the death of the brave Peshka.
Come on.
Oh my gosh, the deflection shot. Are you serious?
I think he's gonna get out, Khan. Oh no, NTS pumped him pretty hard, but...
No, the NTS tickling him, but I did not think the Peshka had that kind of, like, turn and burn kind of speed.
Yeah, that's... I'm just as surprised as you are. Those 109s, I mean, they only have the light armament, of course, to be fair.
Yeah,
still,
but 20
that was like
mil.
a few strafing runs. I mean, it's only one 20 mil.
Yeah, but still, I think a 20 mil is a... At this point in time. Forgive me, I'm watching down south as we have the 3 Musketeers, the 3 Automachiki squads, kind of diving on in the western approaches. And this P-Gun's going to try to come in, the P-Gun goes down almost instantly. And that is the end, I would argue, of any pretense of Karma being here in the south. Have we seen both ME109s go down? Jeez, that P40 is deadly. 300 rounds, he takes out 2 of them. Good God.
Goddamn. The one thing I do love about, like, Steel Division 2 in terms of, or just the Eastern Front in general, is, like, the whole Air Force. So you just see all these Reader planes being used, especially on the Soviet side, as they're using, you know, the Lend-Lease P-40s and Spitfires and Boston bombers and all of that.
Well, it certainly is more of a grab bag, that's definitely for sure.
Yeah. Well, I know definitely on the American side, the P-40 was probably not being used anymore by 44 standards. I think it's all P-51 at that point.
Weren't they converted to ground attack planes at that point?
I have no idea, actually. Honestly, I don't know. I thought they were kind of pulled off surface, like, kind of earliest.
Like, I thought they
42, 40, like 43.
I thought they became a tank buster role, but maybe I'm just off on that one. I'm sure somebody out there could correct me. Meantime, though, so P-40 is going to continue to troop around the front lines. I would be very surprised if this goes too much longer.
Yeah, I feel like Calm is kind of bugged at this point. Really doesn't have much on the field. There's more Soviet reinforcements being brought in. And yeah, Gonzo just has a good position.
Certainly seems to be that way.
Do you want to take it at times 2?
Sure, let's do it at 35.
Yep.
Alright. And times 2. P-40 in the meantime to continue to zoom all over the place, strafing poor sods on the ground. There's PBIs are just going to get crushed.
Yeah, Automachikis in a pretty good ambush position here. The Panzer IV and Model 1 can't really move any closer unless the Pioneers decide to do anything.
Which they're not going to be able to do, though. So,
no.
Ain't going to matter too much. I'm telling you, man. Artillery would have been a big force multiplier here.
Yeah.
Big one.
I mean, it seems to be another match where air power is really coming clutch once again. Which is nice to see in 1v1s. We usually don't see a lot of air power being used, generally speaking, but just being able to constantly bomb people to hell and back and not lose your planes, as Gonzo's been doing pretty good with keeping most of their planes alive, it's helpful.
Oh, absolutely.
You really, like, pay off your, like, bomber planes pretty quickly if they just do, like, 2 or 3 bombing runs.
Absolutely, and honestly, even getting stresses out as opposed to even getting kills is almost as useful, if not more so.
Yeah, and just the immediate nature of, like, aircraft, of course, of you can just bomb wherever. The joys of air-powered flight, of course.
Very, very true. Peshka, in the meantime, just comes in one more time, takes out a martyr this time. And yep, this is Karma slowly running dry, I think, of every last bit of war machine that he's got.
Yeah. Now, Gonzo does a very good job of pushing all over.
Mm-hmm.
Go down south, we're starting to see light. I know it's mostly resurgence, but Karma is just trying to retake that flag position. I don't really feel he's gonna get it back actually. It's only one after Machiki and an artillery leader.
But like, so what if he does? I mean, we still have there's artillery pieces behind. There's the KV-1 is engaging the P4 to the north. He might get killed. They might get killed. But like, dude, it's 15-9.
Time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's 15-9. You're not gonna get three flags in that amount of time.
Yeah, we had seen a final push with some hard track through the center, but yeah, Karma is pretty much buggered.
I am surprised they took the lungs back.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm surprised they took that. That didn't seem like it was going to be the case.
Yeah, just surrounded in terms of front line goes. As he's slowing down, going, he got to 11-13 just for a second. He almost could have brought it back to a 12-12 maybe, but not going to happen, Khan. That will not happen.
And I mean, we are going to see over here about almost 1,000 difference, which not entirely unexpected. And if you look at the tail of the tape too, look at a lot of the kills. Kills are kind of what you expect. You got a couple of standouts here or there.
Yeah. P40 got 3 airplane kills in IG-18, which is pretty good.
Jeez.
P2
he paid himself off.
Yeah.
Peshka's got 4 kills. But yeah, Peshka killed the Boy to Stalin and the Opel Blitz in the same run.
Huh.
So that's what it was.
Not bad. And losses. Panzer IV run coming in pretty clutch, knocking out 3 anti-tank guns. Pretty hot shooting. Oh, holes shooting. I thought it was a T. Before I could have made a funny pun, but not today.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
Yunka over here for straight from the ground targets. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where the martyrs, I think, acquitted themselves rather well. Unfortunately, I don't think everybody else did.
Yeah.
And sometimes it happens. Yes, sir?
No, it's just that map really comes more like close range fighting, and 7th Mech is pretty good at that because, the classic Soviet spam with Strelkies and T-34-76s, which work really well in those sorts of engagements, and Gonzo managed to force those engagements for the most part. He was mainly flying on hills and in the town and trying to avoid, for the most part, of course, trying to fight over the longer stretches where those Martyrs and 43s and Boy to Stalin come and play.
Certainly seems to be the case. But any final words of wisdom for our would-be generals out there?
Drink lots of water.
Yes.
It's good for you.
Yes, that is true. Drink lots of water, everybody. You're 70% water, but need to make sure we get some more in there. All right. But until next time, folks, I'm Connell Work.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.